What up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Full Metal Analysis. We got another victory week. The Lions went up against the Bears and got a victory. And we will go around later on. We'll go around the scores from the league. I know we didn't get to do our picks. It is the holiday season, and it's a lot going on, so we didn't get a chance to do that. But we'll get into all that later. But first, Lions get a victory, man. Didn't nobody thought last week? It was all over. The sky was falling. Season over. We couldn't do anything. The Lions did give up on us. We went out and we got a victory. What did you think about the game?
It was a good game, great game. I thought it was going to be. They made it seem like it was going to be almost the North Pole in Chicago Sunday, but what I did see of the game, sun was out. I'm sure it was cold, but the sun was out. Didn't look too bad. Jared Goff had his two gloves on, so the weather didn't really play that much of a factor in the game. It was nice to see that despite the weather, Jared Goff was still able to deliver the ball on time. Jahmyr Gibbs had a good day, and the Bears are the Bears. What can you say?
The Bears are the Bears. What I did see in the game is, it was back to normal business, man. The Bears, like you said, the Bears are the Bears, so they did a lot of mistakes. I think if we go up against a better team, there are a few flaws, like Dan Campbell's favorite words, some things that we need to clean up. But essentially, Jahmyr Gibbs had a good game. Like you said, Jared Goff had a good game. Amaran had a good game, and everybody had a good game, man. J-Mo had an amazing game. I think he had almost 140 yards. St. Brown finally crossed 1,000 yards. He's got 10 catches. 10. He's got over 100 catches, 10 touchdowns. So I think that's his third consecutive season doing that. You know what I'm saying? St. Brown gets underrated gets slept on in the receiver race, man. St. Brown is one of the best receivers in the league, but I don't think he's recognized as that sometimes. But the main concern that I saw, the offense is firing on 100%. There are some drives that I wish that they would finish and complete. They're still falling short on a couple of them. But with that being said, we still put up 34 points. But the defense, on the other hand, they didn't do bad, but they didn't do good either. It was like they did exactly what I said I wanted them to do. They made plays when they needed to make plays, but they weren't really stopping anything, and they weren't getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback. I would like to see Brian Branch make a few more plays. We haven't really gotten any picks in the last few games. I would like to see Kirby step up and get those picks that he was getting. And the linebacking core, you can just tell that it's new guys out there, and sometimes they're confused, or they're not exactly sure where they need to be.
Yeah, I got to watch some of the game, most of it, and then but most of it I listened to on the radio. From what I could come away with on the radio, listening to the broadcast, Brian Branch was in a lot of coverage on Sunday. It seemed like he was on Keenan Allen a lot, and I heard Keenan Allen was making some spectacular catches, and it seemed like most of the time it was on Brian Branch. Brian Branch came in as a nickel. He kind of excelled at safety. With the injuries, and with the return of Melifonwu, you would rather see Branch in coverage than Melifonwu. I'm assuming. So he's not playing out of position, but we love to see him a lot more at safety. So
Yeah.
that could be part of it. As far as the linebackers, you know, Jack Campbell's out there doing his thing. Ben Neiman, he's been playing well. I think he was hurt, so it's good to get him back. Um, the defense was fine. Like you said, it was the
Yeah, it
Bears.
was good.
It was the Bears. So they the Lions got a lead and they held on, and that's back to what we've been seeing all season. So it was good to get back to that because, like I said, against Buffalo, it was I couldn't remember the last time that we were trailing basically the whole game. So it was good to get back to our style of football. My concerns actually coming out of the game, it was nothing on the field. It was more just going forward. I think the biggest thing that I thought while I was watching that game was, man, I kind of need to see more Craig Reynolds, Jamar Jefferson, Sione Vaki, because man, they ran Jameer Gibbs.
Yeah, I did think I would see more of Avaki and Craig Reynolds. I even saw a little bit more Jamar Jefferson than I thought I was going to see. But I did think I would see those guys a little bit more. But I mean, at the same time, I kind of understand because Jameer was having a hell of a game, and it's just like sometimes you hate to take that off the field because he was killing it, man. He definitely was. He was getting the first down almost every time he touched the ball, and the moves he was out there making on the field, that spin move he hit on my man was amazing. That they threw a pass to him in the middle of a ball. I mean, in the middle of a ball, they threw a pass to him in the middle of the field, and he was surrounded by three guys, and he ran around the dudes instead of them tackling him. He outran the guys from the position they was in and ran around them, and still ran and got the first down. So I mean, yeah, you would like to see less wear and tear on them, but it's hard to when you're killing it like that.
Yeah, yeah, no, I'm looking at it right now. Gibbs ran the ball 23. Gibbs had 23 carries. That's not including his receptions. And in a game where it wasn't in very much doubt, especially after the huge Jameson Williams touchdown, 82-yard touchdown. Gibbs also had 4 catches for 45 yards. So all in all, he had 27 touches against the Bears, where maybe you might not have needed that. It's funny because I heard people worried about this same thing, and I was just thinking like, well, I mean, he doesn't have to do this. He doesn't have to do this the entire season. He's only got to do it until the remainder of the season, and we don't even know Montgomery's status, so it might not even be like that. So we don't know, but receiving. JMO's got 890 yards, so 110 yards short. We got 2 games left, so he is definitely on pace to get into 1,000 yards. And like you said, Amara, he's got 1,126. So I mean, that's just another cap. That's just another feather in the cap of this Detroit Lions team. You are looking at finishing the season with 2 1,000-yard receivers. Testament to Ben Johnson, testament to Jared Goff, St. Brown, Jameson Williams, the whole staff. I mean, like this offense is where this offense is what this team is all about. So as long as the offense continues to stay healthy, relatively, you know, I don't think that the defensive being as banged up as it is, we're going to constantly be getting people back steadily. So I think we're gonna have enough people going into the playoff run.
Yeah, I think we'll get a couple of guys back. I think Anzalone is supposed to be coming back for the playoffs. It was somebody else that's coming back. I think another linebacker that's coming back, but I can't remember. Oh, uh, uh, Mavis. Uh,
Breeze, maybe.
I can never say. It. Yeah, Reven Mavis. He'll be back, and I mean he was not a starter, but he's better than what we than the fourth string guys.
Yeah,
So
he's the
I
guy
mean,
that's been. He's the guy that's been in the room, which is better than just grabbing somebody off the street.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, we'll get a few guys back, and I feel like, well, uh, I mean, it's a toss up between the defensive line and the linebackers, but I would say we're weakest right now at the linebackers because in the linebacker room right now, man, I can't tell you a name for the linebackers right now. I don't know who's out there when I see a linebacker, but the defensive line is getting a little bit of pressure. But they're not getting enough pressure. It's like when you watch the game, man, you see them out there making moves, but everybody's standing in the same spot. And every now and then, when they do get past a guy, when we the last 2 weeks we played a mobile quarterback, so the quarterback could just be like, "Oh shit, pockets breaking down," and he just goes over there. So I mean, but that being said, I feel like the linebackers are doing the worst. I don't want to say a bad job. They're maintaining, but it's just sometimes it just feels like they're out of place.
Yeah, this is gonna be. This game was a hard game to gauge going forward, just because the Lions did what they were supposed to do. I heard some shows on the radio going. Oh, I felt like they was going overboard. Like, oh, we need to see, like, yeah, they gotta win, but no, they gotta dominate. They gotta blow them out. Blah blah blah. But I mean, I was kind of on the Dan Campbell thing. Like Dan Campbell said, "Hey, going forward, as long as we have one more point than the other team, then I'll be happy." And that's where I'm at. So whether or not they dominated the Bears or whether or not it was a closer game, we talked about it before the game. Me and you, you thought it was going to be a blowout. I thought it was going to be closer, and it ended up being somewhere in the middle. The Lions dominated all game, but like you said, at the second towards the second half of the game, they kind of let up, uh, let let uh, let the Bears score some points, but the game was never really in doubt. So I mean I'm good with that. Against the 49ers, that'll be more of a test. You talked about how the 49ers look like they've kind of given up. I believe they lost that game Sunday as it were. So I don't know what type of state they're in, but it's still the 49ers, so they'll definitely be more of a challenge than the Bears were.
Yeah, they'll definitely be a more of a challenge than the Bears were. I think that I said that the game. I mean, I was off a little bit. I think I said the game was going to be 32-10. It ended up being 34-17. So that game pretty much went how I expected it to go. Despite everything that I've been saying, I just feel like the Bears are making a lot of mistakes, and a better team will capitalize more on that. But to your point, we'll get a real test this coming up week against San Francisco. I do think that San Francisco is checked out, but everybody seems to get hyped up when they play us. So and if we let them stay in this game, then that will I feel like that will spark them to play more. I mean, to play better than if we went ahead and get a lead, take control of the game, play Lions football like we're used to doing. Then they'll probably check out. But if we let them hang around, I think they'll make an effort to play in the game because, like you said, it is still the 49ers at the end of the day. And no, the 49ers are a good football team that's had a lot of misfortune this season. So it'll be a test. I think we'll see more so with I'm not worried about the offense. And I want to go back to your point about Jameer in a minute, but I'm not too much worried about the offense, but we'll get a chance to see what the defense is really made of. But essentially, I just want them to do what I said. I just want them to uh, hold serve, man. Make plays when we need to be served. You don't have to shut a team down. And just like Dan Campbell said, we can win by 1 point. Just make a play when you need to. Terrion Arnold had a rough game last week, but he made plays when he needed to make plays. He made the last play of the game. He knocked down a couple of balls. You know what I'm saying? He got a couple of balls caught on him, but when we needed him to make a play, he was there. Going back to the Jahmyr Gibbs thing, man. I just wanted to say I think that we'll see more of Craig Reynolds, Sion Vaki, and Jamar Jefferson. You know, the Lions and Ben Johnson, when there's a change needed to be made, even when they bring in new guys, especially on the offense, they tend to bring them in real slow. And like they'll bring in a new guy, but they'll test the water first before they give them major run. So I feel like this game they just let Jahmyr did his thing. This week they'll incorporate a few more plays for Vaki and the backups to give Gibbs a little bit more of a breather, and we should see more of them going forward in different games and in different situations.
Yeah. I mean that applies to Vaki, but Craig Reynolds is a day one guy. He's been there. He's been there since day one. Netflix, Hard Knocks, the whole shebang. And I'm looking at it. Vaki, I don't believe Vaki got any carries that game. Jefferson got 3. Reynolds got 4, and Jahmyr Gibbs got 23. So
Vaki, I think Vaki got
I'm
catches.
not. Yeah. So I'm not mad that they ran Jahmyr Gibbs because like no, I'm typically I'm the guy that says, hey, if you got the horses, man, ride them. But just Jahmyr Gibbs has been healthy all year. I was just looking at that. He's played all 15 games. And I was like, yeah, that's right. He hasn't missed a game. And David Montgomery, this is the first game that David Montgomery's missed. So the health on this team has been like phenomenal. So I just worry about
For the offense.
I just, yeah I just worry about just doing a change of course at the end of the season. Obviously it's going to get tougher. You expect it to get tougher come playoff time, but Jahmyr Gibbs, they've been. If I could keep them even in the high teens, personally, I would feel more comfortable with that. But hey, man, the dude has been doing this. He's had 1,000 yards rushing on the season. I know him and Montgomery said their goal was for them to both get 1,000. So it looks like Montgomery's going to fall about 200 yards short of that, which sucks. But if you would have
Yeah.
had, I would love to have ever been done before. A team with 2,000 yard backs and 2,000 yard receivers, I feel like that would definitely be very rare if that's ever been done.
Yeah, that would definitely be our offense would have definitely gone down the history if we was able to accomplish that. I feel like we've been breaking a lot of records this year. I just want to highlight two plays in that game real quick, man. Uh, I've got to say, for years we've been talking about how inaccurate Golf is on the deep ball. He has completed deep passes, to JMO, over the course of this season and a few last season. But this game was right on the money, man. I don't know if it's not they finally got the chemistry right and it took this long to get it, but that like JMO caught that ball in stride. He didn't have to slow down. He didn't have to wait for it. It wasn't over his head. He didn't have to look for it. That ball fell right in his hands, and he caught it in stride. Didn't miss a step and ran right into the end zone. So I got to give out a shout out to Golf for that. And then the other play is the famous what is being called the fumble rooski, man, where Golf pretended like they took a page out of last week where Golf fell down and made a play out of it, and Golf stumbled. Jahmyr Gibbs just dived on the ground. All the linemen yelled out fumble, and it worked to a T, man. I'm still amazed by that play. Every time I see it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? All the national correspondents are talking about it. Everybody I hear talk about it is saying they've never seen a play like that before. So I just wanted to give that play a shout out as well.
Yeah, so the JMO pass, that was like you said, that was a perfect pass, and his first couple years and his last few years with the Rams, it seemed like he had lost his deep ball. But as time went on, and you hear everybody talk about it and blah blah blah, um, I'm accepting of the theory that he never lost the deep ball or the ability to throw the deep ball. It was more so that he became this check down guy, and we definitely saw that
Yeah.
early in his time with the Lions. You know,
Right.
he was so worried about the turnover, so so complacent with just checking down every time. And so and he would say it that he feels way more comfortable throwing a deep ball when he has chemistry with his receiver. So he kept talking about it. He said it was going to come along. He said that he just got to get the reps in and develop that chemistry. And yeah, that ball was a perfect example of that. And and even on the Laporta, even on the fumble Rooski, even that was a good ball because he still had to, he they the Bears bit, but they did recover. Now there was about 5 to 10 yards of separation, but he still had to get the ball out there, but not too much to Laporta, and he did. He put it there. Laporta grabbed it, touchdown. They actually said, I think it was Gibbs or JMO. One of them said that I got to go back and watch it, but they said that they got that play from the Packers and the Bears. I don't know if you saw it, but Goff said that Ben Johnson came up to him and asked him if he could if he could. I can't remember how he put it. Like, can you fumble it, but not like, can you fumble it, but get it like right back? And he was like,
Can you
yeah, no,
fumble
I
it for
can't.
real?
Yeah, fumble it for real, but not fumble, but not lose it. And he was like, I don't know.
Right.
So then they was like, we'll just fake it all, and it went perfectly. So yeah, it was the whole world. You right. You're not lying. The whole NFL community is talking about it, man. So Ben Johnson continues to bedazzle the whole league with his play calls, and you know, I'm interested. People are this Ben Johnson head coaching this talk is really starting to ramp up. I feel like.
Yeah, man. And he did an interview last week where he is considering it, but he wants to finish focusing on this season before he gets into it and starts making saying what he's gonna do. But you can tell that most likely he won't be back next season. But I feel like they're gonna go for the gusto and give it everything they got this season before he moves on. So I mean, we'll go from there. We'll go from there. I think it's a high likely that he might move on to. Hopefully, it's not the Bears, but he might move on to another team next season. um. Oh, and real
Ain't,
quick, man, I was
ain't
shouting
even,
out my boys, man. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was shouting on my boys. I just want to give her a quick. Sam Brown is my boy, man. I gotta give a shout out to him, man. He made a play on the screen pass on the screen pass, and he got a touchdown. That I don't know where he came from out of that touchdown, man. I swear he got stopped and he bounced around and then popped out into the end zone. And then speaking of golf throwing, uh, while we talking about he put it on the money, he missed St. Brown at the corner of the end zone. I will say that because St. Brown had another touchdown, but he slightly overthrew him. But you know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. We at that point we were well in control of the game, so it wasn't a big deal.
You been following this Calais Campbell story?
No, what's going on?
It's just I guess it's a rumor. I mean, I guess it's been confirmed to some degree, but basically they were saying like the Miami Dolphins are considering releasing Calais Campbell at the end of the season. Um, just because his time is coming to an end in the NFL, and I could have sworn he had got it. Maybe not, but they, just the opportunity to go play for a championship team because the Dolphins suck. So they were thinking about releasing him towards the end of the season from the sign with another team, and people were, obviously everybody was saying, "Hey, it's a team." I can think of a team where you could go that has championship aspirations that needs help on the defensive line.
So essentially, you're thinking that so if they did release them, so if they released them free and clear, would the Lions have an opportunity to sign them? What, like for the playoffs, or would it be for next season?
No, it would be for the playoffs. But my only thing is, yeah, like you said, free and clear. So I don't know. I don't know how that works with waivers. Would he have to go through waivers? And then if that's the case, then it's a long way to he would have to go through before he got to the Lions. So, yeah, I'm not sure how that will work. I'm not even sure if they're even going to do it. The fact that they lost yesterday probably helps, you know, promote that idea. So I mean, we could keep on watching. I definitely got to look into it some more, but yeah, if they were able to, if Lions were able to bring them here, man, that would be great.
That would be great, but I wouldn't get my hopes up about that, man. I was just talking about how we could use better pressure on the offensive line, but Brad Holmes tends to keep it tight to the vest with the players that he brings in here. So it will be a good thing, but I wouldn't get my hopes up about it. You know what I'm saying? It would be a nice surprise if it did happen, but like I said, I wouldn't get my hopes up about it
Yeah,
because
if I was just gonna say that if waivers are not included, then I think it will definitely be almost a 50% chance. If he gets released, I think it'd be like a 50% chance they bring him in. Now, if it's waivers
yeah,
included, I can't see another team not picking him up.
I feel like it would be. I feel like if they let him, well, it's not. I don't know because, like you said, they just he's still in the middle of his contract, so they would be letting him go. So it wouldn't be like, well, if it's at the end of the season, its contract will be done because the playoffs are not included in that, right? So I don't know. We would have to do some more research. Let's not talk about it until we do a little bit more research on it.
Yeah, that's cool.